In this video, I'm going to share 4 things that you can start using right now to eliminate waste from your Scrum process to guarantee that your team deliver more value faster. Lean thinking reduces waste and focuses on the essential. This is a quote from the Scrum Guide 2020, simply because lean thinking essential to the Scrum framework. Lean thinking is about reduction of waste. Lean is about giving people a drive, a motivation to simplify. The core of Scrum, the core of Agile, it's all about the iterative approach. Building the smallest thing first, releasing it to the market early, getting feedback, and then improving on it, and going on until we meet maximize the value. We satisfy the customer. That's what the iterative approach is all about, and that's what lean thinking is all about. We can't talk about lean without talking about waste. In the book Lean Software Development, an Agile Toolkit, the authors correlate 7 ways of lean manufacturing to 7 ways of software development. It's a very good book. I highly recommend that you read this book right now, just after watching this video. We won't have time to cover these 7 ways, but you can watch this video for more details. For now, let's talk about these 4 things that you can start using right now to eliminate waste from your Scrum process, starting with context switching. No matter what you believe, I know that many managers, senior people in your organization believe that we should be working on multiple things at the same time. The science is clear. It's not good for us. We can measure that. We can measure the decrease in productivity because of context switching. Working on multiple things at the same time. It's very clear. Individuals, teams, doesn't matter. Multiple teams, it doesn't matter who is doing context switching. At all levels, productivity decreases when we switch from one thing to another. It just makes sense to enter a state of flow where you're really focused on something. It takes around 10 to 15 minutes. And each time you get distracted, your colleagues are talking to you, manager wants something, or anything, it takes around 10 to 15 minutes to get back in the state that you were in previously, to remember what you were doing previously. So if you get distracted every 5 minutes, why are you working? That's why people don't do anything at work. It's way better to focus when you're at home or in a place where there's no distractions. The science is pretty clear on that. But with some Agile principles and the Scrum process, we can start adding work in progress limits. We can follow the time boxing of the Scrum events. Everything is built so that we can optimize this context switching issue. I've been writing the outline for this video for around 45 minutes now. Usually takes me only 20 minutes when I'm at home without any distractions. But right now I'm writing at a nice, really nice coffee place. So many distractions. My mind is jumping from one thing to another. I can't really focus. So removing distractions is really important. I know teams that set work in progress limits. Only allow a single item, a single user story, a single task to be assigned to a person. And that's really good. But the environment is also important. Let's be honest here. We all know people that work on a single thing at a time, but they don't get anything done because they are always gossiping. They are always talking to each other at work, distracting each other at work. And distractions don't discriminate, they also hurt people with the best intentions. Maybe you're a developer watching this, you know this feeling. You're working to find a solution to a complex issue. 15 tabs open in your browser, variables stored in your mind, facts stored in your mind, and then a manager comes to talk to you. Only needs you for 1 minute, 2 minutes, but it takes 20 minutes to get back to what you were doing previously. Yeah, optimize your environment. Another thing that you need to optimize is the work in progress limit. You can try to add a work in progress limit per person, like a team member can only work on one item at a time. You can also add work in progress limits to a Kanban board, to a Scrum board, each one of these columns. Maybe you have a testing column and you can't have 2 items in this testing column, only 1 item. You can also add a work in progress limit for the whole team, like the whole team is working on a single user story, helping each other. And what's the goal of having a work in progress limit? It's transparency, making things visible. That's what Agile and Scrum is all about. Transparency makes issues visible. When adding these work in progress limits, you'll start realizing that things start to get stuck. Naturally start to get stuck on the board. You realize that the item takes 4 days to complete, but people are working on that only for a few hours. It's spending most of the time idle, like you're waiting for an environment to be up. You're waiting for someone to do something. This is where you should optimize. Little by little, you optimize this. You find an issue, you optimize it. You find another issue, you optimize it. If you're new to this whole waste reduction important thing. A work in progress limit is the first thing you should try with your team. But beware, it will be very revealing. But I need to mention again, remind you again, environment, distractions are also important. You can't just add a working progress limit and just believe that everything will be fixed. No, distractions, the environment people are working with, that's the most important part of things. Really, self-management. Teach people, if you're a Scrum Master watching this or an Agile coach watching this, work with the person and help the person, coach the person so that the person can self-manage themselves. Find ways to work without any distractions. That's the hard part. Number 2, loss of knowledge or relearning. We don't talk about this topic a lot, but it's quite common. A single person in the team, usually an expert, has a piece of information, a knowledge, or a skill that no one else has in the team. Everyone knows that it's bad. It shouldn't be the case. But what do? Nothing. We just pray that this person doesn't win the lottery. It shouldn't be the case. We need to fix this issue. Pair programming, learning sessions. Remember, a self-organized, self-managed, and cross-functional team. That's what a Scrum team is all about. There shouldn't be people in the team with specific things. Else, what if this person is sick, goes on leave? The column on the Kanban board just stays stuck. No one can do anything. What if we need this skill or this particular knowledge to progress and to build this shippable, potentially shippable increment of a product? We can't do it if the person is on leave. Doesn't make sense. We should pair with each other to learn this skill. We should be in a position to be able to constantly and continuously help each other. So please add learning to your backlog. Prioritize learning sessions, sharing sessions every single week. Everyone in the team should be learning. The product owner, the Scrum Master, developers, everyone should be continuously learning in the team. And if it's not prioritized, no one will do it. So please, if you're a product owner watching this, it's important to deliver working software, yeah, but learning is also important for the future. Another thing that's important is documentation. I know developers hate documentation. If you go to the Agile Manifesto, one of the values, working software over comprehensive documentation. They tell you, hey, Agile, pretty clear. There's no documentation in Agile. But no, it's over comprehensive documentation. Never said that we shouldn't be doing comprehensive documentation. No, it's just that creating a working software is more important, but documentation is also important. If you keep on pushing software, you're only winning in the short term. In the long term, there will be turnover in the team. New people joining, people leaving the team. All this knowledge, do you really believe that in 1 year, you will remember a specific solution that you had for a problem? Maybe you build something architecture-wise complex. Do you think that you will remember all these things without documentation? What if you leave a team and you join another team? What happens? Loss of knowledge. So please, document important things. Number 3, bugs, defects. If I had to pick a single thing to optimize when joining an existing Scrum team, it would be quality. We all know that quality is important. Quality helps us deliver more value. Customers are more satisfied because there's no bugs in the product. It just makes sense. But is quality your priority? If you're like most people, no. I don't see it when working with multiple Scrum teams. I don't see that quality is a priority. We all know that when we find a bug in development compared to in production, we are wasting 10 times more resources, people, time when we find it in production than if we worked on improving quality in the development phase and find it in the development phase. It's a huge waste of time to not test correctly. But do we test correctly? When we are rushing to release something, you get product owners telling you, or managers, directors telling you, just release it. Yeah, okay, there's a few bugs, there might be a few bugs, but just release it. And let's see what happens. It might be good in the short term. Yeah, you're releasing, delivering. But in the midterm, a few months down the line, you'll need to fix all these bugs 10 times. You're wasting 10 times more time when you're not focusing on quality at all stages. From the design stage to the development to the testing, everything needs to be perfect. This might be shocking for some people to hear, but improving quality, it's not that hard. Peer code review, pair programming, a bulletproof definition of done, clear acceptance criteria, a good testing strategy, and working on small increments. That's it. That's basically it. If you do that, the basics, well, quality is guaranteed to improve. Number 4, ineffective communication. How much time have you wasted at work because of ineffective communication, miscommunication? If you're like most people, a lot. If you're like me, a lot. But we don't see it. If we would see it every single day, like the overtime wasted because of ineffective communication, we would optimize it directly. But we don't see it because it's body language, it's miscommunication. It's not clearly visible, especially when we are working from home now. Everyone is working from home. Do you really think that audio only, not seeing the person, audio only is the best type of communication? No, it's not. And a lot of people don't like switching on their camera in meetings. Did this person really understand me? Is this person being sarcastic? Am I on mute right now? Are people hearing me in the meeting? So much wasted time. And don't even talk. Don't get me even started with emails or Teams communication. Now, for me, the best type of communication, it's in the Agile Manifesto. One of the principles is the most effective type of communication is face-to-face communication. And it's for a reason. Centuries ago, it was the same thing. Now, because of technology, everyone is working from home virtually, remotely. Yeah, we think that we are saving time, but we are wasting time, especially when we need to deal with each other in a professional environment. So please, if you're working remotely from home, you need to pay attention for this. You need to give a lot of effort to communicating better. If you want more details, watch this video right here, and I'll see you in a few seconds.